Hey, good morning. Happy Saturday. Going to do something a little bit different with you today. I think it's going to be fun. You can see in the title that we're going to be trying the AI listing feature on Nifty to see if we can create a listing on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari using that AI listing tool, which I've never used. I don't even know if a tutorial for it exists from Nifty. If they have a tutorial, I have not watched it. So we're going to give it a try. I have never tried it. I have never even tinkered with it, attempted it, nothing. So I don't know really anything about this tool except for apparently you can just use photos to create your entire listing on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. It's supposed to speed up your listing time. And I'm pretty intrigued by the possibility of it. The timing of this is because there's a new AI listing tool that came onto the market this week. A lot of people were talking about it, and I was like, wait, doesn't Nifty already do that? So we're going to give it a try. I've literally never used it before. I'm at my in-laws' house, so I'm away from home. So this is going to be extra interesting for the viewer because I don't have my usual tools. I don't have my usual background. I don't have my usual hanger. I don't have my photo lights. I don't have my usual measuring tape, which is on my workbench. What else don't I have? I'm using Kim's laptop. I don't have my second monitor. I'm just out of my element, but making do with what I got. So we do have two shirts to list today. I'm on the waiting list. Nice, 916. Waiting list for what? I'm confused. What you waiting on? So we got a B Draddy golf polo, and I'm especially interested about this one right here because it's got that the golf country club logo on the chest. I want to see if it can pick that up. Especially look at the cursive. So that's Kiowa. If any of you know, that's Kiowa Island, the ocean course, which is a really famous golf course on the coast of South Carolina. It's a PGA Tour stop. So this polo is actually worth better money because of that logo right there. I'm going to see if it picks that up. I have no idea if it will or it won't. I haven't watched any videos about this. We're also going to list that Royal Robbins shirt. We're going to do it one at a time. I'll probably make some mistakes. Maybe somebody's already used. Let me know down below in the chat if you've already used the listing tool, the AI listing tool from Nifty. Maybe somebody can walk me through as I inevitably make mistakes on this process. But anyway, happy Saturday. Thanks for hanging and joining with me. It's a little bit of an experiment. It should be fun. I don't know. This isn't a sales pitch for Nifty because I don't even know if I'm going to like this tool or not. We haven't even tried it, but we're doing good. The mic sounds good. I knew it would be echoey here, so I brought my white mic with me just in case. So I do have that tool. I found a hanger in the closet. It looks like a nice little wood hanger. I have only natural light coming from this window right here. So we're going to just use natural light. You can see I closed the blinds a little bit so it wasn't overexposed, but that's all we're using is one source of natural light. So for those of you who are listing beginners on eBay and Poshmark, etc., this is probably a fun little tutorial or wrestling match too, because maybe you're just just getting started. You haven't purchased tools. You don't have photo lights. You don't have a whole setup with an external monitor and all this stuff at home. I do got to go grab my measuring tape. I'll grab that in a minute. But let's get into this. I'm going to just start taking some photos and see if we can get this AI listing tool to smash out a listing nice and quick. Say hello down below in the chat if you haven't already. If you haven't followed or subscribed, I appreciate having you on board. We put out content about reselling every single day. We've already put out content today. We'll put out more today, usually 3 to 4 pieces of content every single day. So to help you get started with your business, grow your business, etc. So welcome aboard. We're live on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Say hello down below in the chat. Kelsey's in the chat. Labicia is here. Heavenly Hall. I use it every listing. Sometimes you have to fix things. Okay, that's good to know. So Heavenly, if you can hang out, because I might have questions as I go through this process. This is literally the first time. I haven't done a test run or anything, so it might be clunky. What's up, Charlene? How are you? Welcome in, everybody. And 916 Flip, I'm curious. What you mentioned being on a waiting list for something. What are you on the waiting list for? Are we talking about the same thing? I'm not sure. Hello, haven't heard about Nifty. Nifty is the tool that I use for cross listing. I have a link in my profile. If you want to give it a 7-day free trial, you'll get 15% off your first month. I'm going to drop that link in the chat for, oops, I'm not prepared for this. Hold tight. I'm going to drop the link. I mean, we're talking about it. So if you want to go check out the website, I'm going to bring up a link so you can get a free trial if you're interested and 15% off that first month if you like it after the trial. So let me go ahead and grab that link for you. If you're on Instagram, the link won't work in the chat, but you can just go to my profile and you'll find that Nifty link. Copy link address. There it is. There's that Nifty link for the free trial, but don't try it yet. Let's just see if this AI listing tool works really well. I've been using it for cross listing and for my automation on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari for over a year now. I switched to it last April. There is no freaking going back. So if you haven't checked it out, you might want to read about it. Check it out at that link. Get you a little trial. Anderson, South Carolina is in the house. Welcome, Anderson. I'm in Winston-Salem today. This is a road game for me. Good morning, Desert Rain. Welcome in. Debbie's in the house. Say hello. Say hello. It's good to hear from you. Velvet Jack's in the house. Nice little Saturday edition. Chris at Peak. So yeah, again, we just got natural light from this window. I got to cut off this Goodwill tag. Here's what we're going to list first. We're going to see how this tool works. Nothing fancy here. This is a Royal Robbins. Royal Robbins is a famous climber, and this is like an outdoor brand. It's really expensive brand new. This shirt's probably like $100 brand new or $90 brand new. It's not the best resale brand, but I like to call this an in-season special right here because this is what people are buying right now, especially if you live in mountain towns like I do. People want these short sleeve shirts that are made of synthetic materials and have a plaid pattern. This is like a an Asheville, or Kelsey's in the house, a Boone, North Carolina official. If you're in Boulder or, like one of these mountain towns, this is what everybody's wearing. This time of year, it's a really good seller for me, even though the brand isn't really a hot seller. On our way from Cleveland, Ohio to OBX right now. I hope you have a great trip, Susan. How long are y'all staying down there? I've never been to Outer Banks, believe it or not. All right, so I'm just going to use my iPhone for these photos as I always do. I got some natural light from this window. You'll notice this door is on a slant right here. That way, if I don't stand directly in front of the shirt, that would put a shadow on the shirt. So by having it on the door, it allows me to angle it a little bit. So my source of light is back here, and I'm not standing between the source of light and the object. It's a little bit washed out. I'm going to probably chill out on that light. So you can see Chris at Peak here without his normal tools, out of his element. All right, one photo of the front. One photo of the tag. We're going to do the materials tag. Apparently it recognizes the brand from the tag. Apparently it'll also recognize the materials from the materials tag here too. So we're going to take a photo of that. And then we're going to do a back photo. I'm also going to use Photo Room. I am going to use that tool because I like Photo Room for the nice clean white background it gives me. I will say I don't love using this hanger as opposed to my usual hanger. My usual hanger has a little bit of a curve to it, and I think it gives the shirt a little bit better shape. So that's it. What did we do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 photos, including the materials tag. So this shirt, you can see this hanger is like 100, it's just totally straight. The hanger that I typically use to take photos on has like a little bit of a curve to the front. I feel like it gives the shirt a nice shape, but I don't have my normal hanger with me that I've shot like tens of thousands of photos on for eBay and Poshmark. Make sure the main pictures are selected. That will give you the most details in your listing. Thank you, Heavenly. I appreciate that insight. This is totally new to me. Are you using Nifty? Kind of confused about the AI part. It's exactly what we're going to do, Charlene. I'm going to do a shared screen, and we're going to list using Nifty's new AI tool and see if we can pull it off. Brian uses the AI lister on Nifty. I love it. You do have to verify, but saves so much time. Awesome. Cool. So I have Brian and Heavenly that can, as I make mistakes, can walk me through. All right. So let's go ahead and I'm going to do a shared screen. I'm going to bring up Nifty here. And let's see. If you're over on Instagram, this part of it might work out. I'm not sure. The shared screen might look a little bit better if you pop over to YouTube or to Facebook, just because you'll be able to see like the wide screen. But you do what you want to do. I'm Chris at Peak on all the platforms. All right, so we're going to share screen. We're going to share Nifty. Okay. So you can see my inventory screen right here. And I'm going to do one thing first that you may or may not, you won't be able to really see it because I'm going to be using Photo Room. Actually, I'll probably end the share screen for a second, but at least I'm set up. So I'm going to use the Photo Room app just for my cover photo. I like to make that cover photo like a nice zoom into the pattern and all that. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. So this is the photo room app right here. This is what I use for all the cover photos on all my listings. So I'm just going to go ahead and import that photo, which is going to be my front photo right there. Photo room is what I also use to make like all my social media photo posts too. So you can see it remove the background from the photo. Now I'm going to choose white. So it makes that background white, like plain white. So now you don't see like the markings of the doors and shadows and any of that. It's just like clean, crisp white like that. And I'm just gonna do a little zoom in here too. So I like to zoom way in so you can see like the tag. You can tell that it's short sleeve. And there it is. So I do a zoom in like that. So you can see in the bottom, it's very clearly short sleeve. You can tell that from my cover photo. You can see the pattern and the colors really clearly. You can even see the tag Royal Robin. So that'll be my cover photo right there. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. I'm going to export that to my phone. And then I'm going to go into my photo reel here, or whatever you call it, your photo roll, select. I'm going to bring those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 photos. I'm going to airdrop them over to my computer. You could do this right off the phone too, but we're going to do this off the desktop because that way we can do the shared screen. It would be difficult for me to share my phone screen. There's probably a way for me to do it, but I just don't know how to do that. So we're going to do it this way. So I'm going to go ahead and do that shared screen now. Welcome in. Hope everyone's doing good. We're doing a live sort of test trial of the Nifty's AI listing tool. I've never used it before, so this is going to be me like kicking and screaming my way through it and seeing if we like it. So let's go ahead and share the screen. We got mini peek down in the corner, and give me a thumbs up down below in the chat if you can see the shared screen now. So this is my Nifty dashboard, and you can see these are the items that I listed and cross-listed yesterday. I haven't been doing everything to Mercari. I do some stuff to Mercari, but not everything. Up at the top right corner, you can see where it's an item. I think this is where I do it. So I'm going to go ahead and go add item, and it's set up to 24 photos and 1 video. And you can see right here, generate your entire listing with AI. So I'm going to drag and drop those photos. And let me go find those. Got it. The 5 photos are in. I guess I'll rearrange them as it makes sense. That's typically the order I do. I wonder if I can zoom in on this one. Will let me zoom? It probably does. Oh, there's a crop feature. Cool. Save. Just zoom in on that tag a little better. Okay, so now I'm going to scroll down, and this is all new to me. I usually list on eBay and use Nifty to cross list, but we're going to generate the whole listing here. So you can see nothing is filled in down below. I've never done this before. I'm going to go ahead and hit generate listing here so the AI can go to work. It appears to be doing stuff. I guess there might be select a set of well-rounded photos. Okay. So we're good. Select a department, men, got it. And then hit generate. So it looks like it wants you to choose the top 5 photos, as somebody mentioned in the chat already. Like the 5 photos that you think best represent the product so it can do its work. The app is called Nifty. I'm going to go drop a link to a free trial for it down below in the chat right now for you. That's for Kathy. There you go. Good morning, Sister Steph Peak is in the house. Thank you for the thumbs up. Okay. So this is the results of the work. So Royal Robin's plaid shirt, short sleeve, button up, casual, extra large. So it picked up the size right. Yep, it is a size extra large. So it got that right. Got the brand right. It definitely got the pattern right, short sleeve. And look at this description. Elevated comfort defines this Royal Robin shirt. A versatile addition to any wardrobe. Okay. It's got the sleeve length, short sleeve, department men, color blue, closure button, fabric type woven, plaid. It picked up the materials, cotton blend, polyester and organic cotton. So it picked that up off the materials tag, pretty good. Fit regular. Features, chest pocket, breathable, lightweight, button up, collar, keywords. The one thing I forgot to do that I'm just realizing now is I didn't add measurements. I wonder if it'll, I'll do that on the next one. I was going to add measurements and I forgot now. Look at the bottom. I put in all these keywords here. So this is probably for like SEO, right? Royal Robbins plaid shirt, short sleeve shirt, all this stuff. Travel shirt, outdoor shirt. So that's pretty good. I'm going to do a couple of things that I typically do. I think I could probably list this and this would perform really well on eBay, probably do good in search. But I'm going to go ahead and add men's XL. And then I'm going to add the word outdoors here is like a good keyword. And I might put hike too. Yeah, I can fit hike. So I went ahead and put those keywords in there, just to my own like little touch to it. But this looks pretty good. I'm going to go to the chat and see what y'all think. What do you think about those listing details? I mean, is that good to go? I mean, that was fast too. I didn't have to type anything. The only thing it doesn't have is measurements. So I will add the measurements manually. I think I could have done that in the photos. We'll do that on the next one, but I'll put the measurements right here. That was my fault for not adding them in the photos. I forgot. Told you we'd make mistakes on here. But apparently this can be all manual or all automated. I do 3 measurements. I'm going to go grab my measuring tape to get these in there. But I think I could have taken photos of the measurements. One second. So I brought my little clothing measurement tool. We're going to take off the shared screen here for a second. And I'm just going to flat lay this. Now, typically I have my measuring tape on my workbench. It makes this process a lot easier than having to like wield a measuring tape. But I'm on the road, so we're making the best of what we got. Pit to pit is 25. Length from the bottom of the collar to the hem is 30. And then the shoulders, from shoulder seam to shoulder seam, are 20. 25, 30, and 20. So we'll go ahead and share the screen. Again, this could have been automated. I just skipped that step. So 25, 30, and 20. Helps if you spell shoulders right too. All right, so I think that's good to go. It's saying it's too many characters for Mercari, so we'll have to trim it down a little bit. In the settings, you can choose whether it automatically puts in all the extra descriptions, and you can put in your own footer. Nice, that's good to know. That's good to know. Thank you for that, Heavenly. So I'm going to go ahead and I need to remove 38 characters because I added some of my own characters here. So I'm just going to get rid of like standard fit. I think that's travel shirt. That's fine. Just get rid of some keywords. Call it a day. Cool. You got to get under 1,000 characters from Mercari. I'm going to price this shirt at $19.99. I'm not going to put in, I never put in cost of goods. I just don't use that. I use a different tool for my analytics and stuff. I won't put the SKU in because I don't know which bin I'm going to put this in. This is the part I'm not really sure how to do yet. So it's got colors. Okay, so I'm looking first at, what is this first listing? This is the overall listing. I've never listed in here, so bear with me. Royal Robbins, store category. I don't really use a store category, so I'll leave that blank. Shipping policy. $6.95 is the policy I use. I think I can default to this if I change with the settings. Maybe Heavenly can tell me about that, so I don't have to scroll. Where's my $6.95? It's like the most common one I use. Why is it not at the top of the list? There it is. Package weight will be 12 ounces. I think I can default all this stuff, but I'll have to play with the settings to figure out. So return policy, free 30 days money back, payment policy, manage payments. Cool. Allow best offers, yes. It already filled in all this stuff. Look at cotton blend, polyester, organic cotton. This is the eBay listing. Chest pocket, breathable, lightweight. It put a lot in. It knows it's not vintage. That's good. So now I'm going through the Mercari listing. It just took the weights and everything that I entered up above. Buyer pays shipping, price $19.99. Dang, okay, I think this thing's ready to go. Now, if I had just done the measurements first, and I think I can set up some some defaults, I think this could be really, really fast. So that's that first one. And this is now listed on Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari. So I don't have to take that second step of creating the listing on eBay, uploading it into Nifty, and then cross-listing it to eBay and Mercari. It just kind of did that all at once. I didn't really have to type anything in there. So let's go ahead and get out of this shared screen. We got some notes from Heavenly, which I need. In the settings, you can choose whether it automatically puts in all the extra descriptions. Cool. It's in the inventory tab. Good to know. What tool do you use for analytics? I use Jason Hayes's reseller spreadsheet. It is linked at chris@peak.com. There's a discount code in there, Chris2025. If you you'll get 10% off with that. I've been using Jason Hayes's reseller spreadsheet for, I think this is my third year now using it. I'm a big fan of it. I need to use something in addition to Nifty's analytic tools because I sell on platforms that Nifty doesn't sell on. I also sell on Amazon, and I also sell on my own website, and I also generate income for my business through affiliate links and from sharing content and stuff. So I need a spreadsheet that can pull all that stuff together. Nifty doesn't have analytic tools for like all those other things, including Amazon, etc. So that's why I use Jason Hayes's reseller spreadsheet. It gives me some more. It allows me to use all those other things, revenue tools. The shipping presets are in the settings. I have mine set up by pounds. Gotcha. I'll have to play with that sort of off the air. That'll be kind of a boring thing to do. So that's the first listing. We're going to go ahead and do another one. I missed some comments on Instagram. Curious. Sorry, I don't have my shared screen, my dual screen mode. So I have like all these like little windows on my little laptop here out of my normal element. Kelsey says, curious with Nifty making a new listing versus using an already sold listing for the eBay algorithm. No clue. My guess is that all those keywords that loaded into them, that Nifty loaded into there, I have a feeling that that'll probably help with like SEO and the algorithm. That's my guess. Again, that was the first one I put up, so we'll kind of see. I'll probably have to do like a few hundred listings and kind of just see how those items sell to really know. But yeah, I agree, Kelsey. I think it makes a really nice listing there. I'm going to do another shirt here in a second. I just want to make sure I take care of the chat here. Happy Saturday. Roxanne is in the house, bringing some positive energy. Heavenly, I really, really appreciate your help with this. So this next one, this is going to be fun. I only brought 2 shirts, so we're going to do two trials. So this brand is Bedrati. This used to be like 2 years ago. This was like a hot golf brand. It's really cooled off. They don't sell like they used to. These used to sell for like close to $30, 25 to 30, and they'd sell fast. But they've slowed down a lot. It's more like a $20 shirt now. But this has that ocean course, Kiowa Island, which is a really famous like PGA Tour stop golf course. Right on the water of South Carolina. So shirts with that embroidery on it typically command a little bit more money. So this Bedrati shirt, I feel like is probably more like a $30 shirt because people are looking specifically for that course. So this will be fun to see if Nifty's AI tool can pick up that golf course. You can see that I still got the Goodwill tag on this. I paid $5 for the shirt at the Goodwill this week. So let's give it a go. Let me know if you have any questions about Nifty. And as I'm standing up here, I'm going to go ahead and drop the. I've been using Nifty for over a year. I just never have used it for this AI listing tool, which we're trying out today. I'm going to go ahead and drop that in the chat for you. This will be a 15%. This will get you a free trial and 15% off your first month. And Kelsey, also, I didn't mention, I don't use a sell similar on other people's listings. This might be something that you consider doing if you're not doing Nifty, is to create templates in eBay for all the different things. It'll save you. I used to do it the way that you're doing it, and I promise you it will save you a bunch of time. Copy link address. if you create templates. So I have like templates for men's short sleeve, men's long sleeve, men's polo, men's jeans, men's pants, and it has all the stuff like preloaded into there that I want, instead of like having somebody else's stuff all preloaded into that. I've been trying to get surfs to use it. Nice, Brian. I know you've been using it for a while. You've mentioned that to me. Gosh, you probably mentioned that to me 2 months ago. Is AI part of the Nifty included, or is it additional costs? So like all these tools, so the short answer is no, it's included, but you'll have a limited number of those, they call them smart credits. So if you're going to have Nifty generate the listing like we just did from the, from the photos, that is a smart credit. So if you get just the cross lister tool, which also has like automatic sales detection, and it will delist your items when they sell. But if you get just the cross lister tool that doesn't have like all the automation tools, like the stuff that does the delist, relist, the automation does the automatic offers, the automation does the sharing constantly throughout the course of the day. If you just get the basic cross lister plan, you get 100 smart credits for $40. So and that's per month. So every month you could do 100 listings like we just did, using that AI listing, like just throw the pictures in there and let Nifty do the rest of the work. There's a new tool that just came onto the market from another reseller who's, a big dog in the reselling community and deserves respect. He's taught, many of us how to start, grow and scale our businesses. He just launched a tool this week, and all you get is 100 of those auto listings per month, and it's $50 a month, and you get 100 of those auto listings. But it doesn't do any cross listing. It won't list it to, it's just eBay, so it won't do anything with Poshmark or Mercari or Depop, and it doesn't have any automation tools, so it doesn't have any like sharing, all that stuff. The plan that I use is a $70 plan because it has all the automation built into it too, and I get those 100 smart credits per month. So yes, and I imagine that I haven't tried his thing, so it's not, all I can speak on is what I know about it as somebody who hasn't tried Tech and Sports' tool. All I know is the price point. It's $50 and you get 100 of those AI listings. But on Nifty, if you just get the basic Nifty cross lister plan, it's only $40. You get that same 100 AI listings per month. And you also have the benefit of it cross listing. It's putting those items to Poshmark, to Depop, Mercari, and all that at the same time too. So, and it has the automatic, delist. If something sells on eBay, it'll take it down off Mercari and all that. So to me, you get more, a lot more, and you actually pay less. So it's the best of both worlds. It's a less expensive tool, and you get more than his tool. But again, I haven't tried his tool. There might be some things that are better about it. I just, but the basic stats of the matter are, on paper, Nifty is cheaper and it does more. That's just what it comes down to. I wish all the shirts at my Goodwill were $5. They were like $7 or $8 by me. I'm very familiar with that. Yeah, I've ran this business now in 3 different states throughout the country. We opened the business in Colorado. We moved to Tampa, Florida for a couple of years, ran it there, and now we run it in Asheville. So we're very familiar with sort of the different pricing structures at different Goodwills and different thrift stores and all that stuff. And we've made the business work everywhere, by the way. So there's advantages to the $7 or $8 clothing stores too, because people will pass on a lot of those $7, $8 items because they don't want to spend that much. Even the $15 items that sell for like $80, so people will pass on them because 15 feels like a lot. So there's some advantages to being in those higher cost thrift stores where you can get some of like the home run pieces that would get scoffed up instantly for $5. Do you have to go with Nifty, or can you go with List Perfectly? I'm going to think through your question. It wouldn't make any sense. It wouldn't make any sense because Nifty it's literally the process I just did your cross listing. So there would be no reason to have, it would be duplicity. Nifty does everything that List Perfectly does and more. So if you had Nifty and List Perfectly, there would just be all redundancy. And then you'd have all the extra stuff that Nifty does that List Perfectly doesn't do. And frankly, if you're on List Perfectly, I think you should definitely give Nifty a look. I would check out the free trial. There's a link in my profile for a free trial, and you'll get 15% off your first month. The comparison between Nifty and AutoPosher at this point, it's not fair. Nifty does so much more than what. Nifty and List Perfectly. Nifty just does so much more than what List Perfectly does, and the stuff that it does do, it does better on top of that. So to me, it's really a no-brainer. And switching from List Perfectly to Nifty is really, really easy because Nifty's AI tool will go in and find all your existing listings on eBay, on Poshmark, on Mercari and Depop, it'll find all those listings, it'll group them together, so it allows your auto delist, relist, sort of, or your auto sales detection to work and all that. It's super, super easy to switch. That's the thing. When you switch cross listers previously, and I've done it, I've switched cross listers 3 different times now from one cross lister to the next, and every time it's a bear, except for going over to Nifty, because that, like I said, that AI tool goes and finds all your listings. So if you're worried about the change and how it's going to rock your business, stop worrying about that. That's so easy. So easy. And again, that link for the free trial, just check it out, see how it works. And I think in what's going to happen, it will find a bunch of errors that your previous cross-listing tool has made. It will find duplicate listings. It will find items that were sold on eBay but not taken down off Poshmark. It will find items that were sold on Mercari but not taken down on eBay. Because the way Nifty works with that AI, it'll find all that stuff. So you'll be thankful for it, I think. I want to say Nifty is 1,000 times better. The math, it's really not close, man. At this point, it's crazy. What about sell raise? That's like that. Isn't sell raise that tool that it was started with, like, that is a Depop tool? Is that the one that I'm thinking about? I tried that years ago. I don't know where it's at now, but when I tried that years ago, it was it seemed like it wasn't ready for prime time, man. I don't know where it's at now, though. I haven't tried it in years, but it seemed like it was just missing a whole lot of things that were super, super important. Nifty right now is leaps and bounds better than anything else in the market. As somebody who has done the trial of AutoPosher, somebody who used Vendu for a number of years, is somebody who used, what was that other one I used for a while? It had a Poshbot in it, which is why I used it. One Shop, I used that for years too. But yeah, I can't speak to the new version of Sell Raise, but when I tried it years ago, it wasn't, I didn't think it was ready for prime time. It wasn't ready for my business. I went to a new to me thrift store yesterday. One of them prices things individually, saw a $40 Pendleton and a $15 cinch. Yeah, it's a lot of money. I have spent $40 for vintage Pendleton at a vintage shop before and turned around and sold it for $80. So don't poo-poo all that stuff. Sometimes, I'm not saying that the Pendleton that you found is worth $80, but some could be. So don't poo-poo those expensive stores. You can find some home runs that are worth flipping too. I'm thinking about possibly keeping flip for Posh sharing and getting the cross lister for Nifty when I can afford that. Let me think through what you're suggesting here. So you're suggesting flip for Posh sharing and Nifty. Yeah, I mean, I see what you're doing. You're just trying to, so the plan that you would probably be looking for is the $70 Nifty plan. So you're trying to piece together maybe the $40 Nifty cross listing plan, and like, I forget what the flip sharing plan is for Poshmark. But your Desert Rain, are you also selling on eBay? So you're missing out on automation tools for eBay and Mercari and Poshmark, or in Depop too. So that's my thing there. Like, you can save a few bucks by piecemealing together a couple of these platforms, but you're going to be missing out on so much of the value. To me, I'd rather you do the thing that's going to grow your business the fastest, even if that means spending an extra, I don't know, $15 or $20 a month. The idea is that the money pays for itself. Auto offers in and of itself on eBay gets me a couple extra sales every single day because Nifty sends out an auto 10% offer to a watcher on eBay. Just that functionality in and of itself pays for my Nifty within the first couple of days of my subscription every single month, in the profits, not in the sales, in the profits. So to me, like, you can piecemeal together those things, and I get it. You're trying to be budget friendly, but at the end of the day, you're going to be doing more work. You're going to have 2 logins. Those 2 platforms aren't going to talk to each other. That's the other challenge, and it might create some hassle and stuff. To me, get what's right to grow your business when the time is right. I'm not telling you that the time is right now, but to me, when you start piecemealing together those tools, that makes me a little worrisome about what's actually going to happen, and if it's going to create more junk and mistakes than you probably want it to. How do you know what brands are selling best? Going through the thrift store, looking up if you're just getting started, Don, going through the thrift store, looking up everything that you're unfamiliar with or maybe familiar with, and seeing what they're selling for on eBay. You can search the eBay mobile app and filter your results for sold, and take a look at like the sale prices for those items and the sell-through rate for those items, and start learning. You know, that's how I did it. There was no like shortcuts or anything. I just went and ground through it and learned every single day and got better and better every day. And that's what I still do. I still look up items every single time I go to the thrift store, items that I'm unfamiliar with or items that catch my eye. I'm like, I don't know that brand, but there's something about it that's makes me think that it's valuable or it feels good. The material feels nice or whatever. I just look it up. I still do that every single time I'm in the thrift store. I've been doing this for 7 years. I'm looking stuff up. There's a lot of stuff I don't have to look up, right? But there's always some things that I'm looking up because I'm staying curious and trying to learn every single day. Do you ever shop estate sales? Not so much recently, but it's something that I've done in the past a lot, Big Bird. I enjoy it, estate sales. It's just not on my regular routine lately. What did I miss? Have a good one. Thanks, Brian. I'm going to do this next shirt here. You're welcome, Don. I'm just getting started. You're doing great. You're doing great. You just gotta learn every day. That's the most valuable metric. Even still, if you ask me, like, what's the most important thing every day? I'm like, did I learn something, and how much did I learn? That's the most important thing. Because if I learned today, then tomorrow is going to be more profitable, right? And if I learn tomorrow, then the next day is going to be more profitable, and so on and so forth. Desert Rain, I'm selling on all 3 platforms, but not selling enough to make $20 eBay store and $70 for Nifty work right now. Other things I need to pay for. Gotcha. Makes sense. Makes sense. You know your business much better than I do. I don't know the stats and the numbers and all that stuff, but I trust that you do. So I appreciate that. It was vintage, but hanging behind the counter. Gotcha. On the Pendleton. I'm with you. Let's list this next shirt. Let's try this Nifty. You might have missed it the first time. Remember, all these lives are available as a replay. You can go and rewatch these. So if you want to see me, listing that first item on Nifty using that Nifty's AI tool, you can go check it out. This is the second and final item that we'll do. I'll do measurements on this one, and we'll see how that goes. All right, let's do it. You can see I paid $5 for this we have flat rate pricing at our Goodwills around here. So I paid $5 for the shirt. And the interesting thing about this one is it's got the Country Club logo. So I'm fascinated to see what Nifty does with that Country Club logo. If it recognizes it, we shall see. It's got that little pinhole from the tag, which drives me crazy because they didn't put it in the right place. But I think it'll be okay. Yeah, I think it'll be okay. All right. How's everyone's Saturday going? Thanks for spending a little bit of time with me. I'm on the road here. We're in Winston-Salem at Kim's parents, celebrating Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to all you dads out there. So this isn't my normal photo setup. We're using natural light from this one single window back here. 2 windows would be a little bit better, but natural light. It's on this door. Got a nice slant to it, so I'm not standing in the way of I don't want to be between the light source and the item. So having this on an angle is helping me kind of stay out of the way of the window. We're going to blast through these photos, see how this tool works. Yeah, see, I know this is how some of you are doing your photos as you get started. The sooner you can get to photo lights, the better, because you'll see this photo. It's just not, it's got a little shadow going on in it. Can't really see the colors clear. I'm going to show you that photo. I mean, compared to the photos I do with photo lights, like see all the shadow down the center line of the shirt and around, like, anytime that there's like a little wrinkle or fold, right? It shadows it. But if I had my box lights, that would be like nice, clean, like consistent lighting all across. And it just gives the perception of quality to the buyer. And you just see the color better, frankly. But it's like easier to identify the color. So like what it would look like in person. But get a close up of this Ocean Course Kiowa logo. Get a close up of the shoulder tag. We'll get the materials tag. This feels like a Pima blend, like Pima spandex. It is. The AI is going to read all these tags, which is pretty rad. I'm just curious if it picks up that Ocean Course. Brian, are you still here? Or Heavenly? Do you notice if it does it pick up Country Club logos? So I'm going to try something with the measurements. Hey, Kiam. I really want to try writing the measurements down like on a little piece of paper and taking a photo of it. Actually, I'll just type it on a, that's what I'll do. I'll just type it on a document and take a photo of that for the measurements and see how it does that. Welcome in, welcome in. We're just doing a quick test of AI, the Nifty's AI listing tool. Typically at home, I got my workbench with my measuring tape built into it. So you don't usually use one of these measuring tapes, but I'm on the road. So we're doing the best with what we got. So pit to pit is going to be 22.5. The length from the bottom of the collar to the hem, it's going to be 29.5. And then the shoulders, 17.5. So I'm going to type that in. What's up? Hidden Isle is in the house. We're using some AI listing stuff. If you're interested in checking it out, Nifty's AI lister, all we're going to do is drop some photos into their lister and it's going to create the whole listing for us and hopefully save us some time. So this is our second go at it. It's supposed to recognize everything. Like it recognized like the materials tag on the last one, which is cool. So I'm just going to go ahead and make up like a, I think there's ways that I can do this to make it really fast with the measurements. You can take photos of the measurements too. How's everyone doing? Happy Saturday. All right, so I'm going to take a picture of what I just typed and see how it works with it. So I just did that. Obviously, I could save some time by having like a system or a sheet of paper that like I printed out that had like it already had like all the words on it, and all I had to do was write the numbers on it. That could be really interesting. I could do a dry erase board. So I'm going to experiment with some stuff when I get back to the main office, the headquarters. But all right, so I'm going to use Photo Room real quick. I'm going to use for my cover photo. You know I like using Photo Room. So just on that front photo, so Photo Room's doing its work. It's getting rid of that background. I'm going to put a white background on there, so nice, clean, and crisp. Doesn't have like the door lines, the edges of the door hinges, all that stuff. I'm going to use this lighting tool, which is I really like. I use a lot. Let me see if I can get this on the screen. See how it says light on right there? I'm going to hit that light on button. And see how it really brightens up the shirt nicely. This would look even better if it was with my photo lights, but we got what we got. So then I'm just going to do a quick zoom in. Whoops. Yeah, see, those of you who don't use photo lights, this photo would look so much better if I had my box lights at home on that. You can see it's kind of like shadowy. It's a little bit like it just doesn't have that crisp color like it would if I had my two shadow box lights with that nice diffused light across the shirt. But we're working with what we got and we're doing our best. All right, so I'm going to share the screen and we're going to go ahead and create this listing. Heavenly, you know, Nifty has background mover also, yes, but this, the tools on Photo Room let me do like this big bulk editing thing, and I can like zoom in on these items. I can change the lighting really quick too, and I can do it like I can buzz through like 30 listings in no time on that. So I'm curious to hear how you like the Nifty background remover, but you can see, like, obviously I didn't take that photo. I zoomed in on it, and I do that so that my cover photo and my front photo of the shirt both look identical in terms of color. So there's no like differences. So it doesn't create any confusion for the potential buyer, so they can go close the deal. All right, so I'm going to share my screen here. All right, there's our last item cross-listed, and you can see it right there. There's that Royal Robbins, boom, boom, boom. 3 platforms. We're going to go ahead and add another item, and we're going to drop these photos in. Again, if I was at home, I would, in my regular setup, basically every single thing I'm doing would be faster. Thanks for those of you who have used this tool before and are kind of walking me through. Okay, so now I'm going to take these 5 photos. I'm going to drop them in here. 6 photos. You can see that measurement description there. I'm going to change the order of these. It says it makes the listing from the first 5 items. So I'm going to zoom. So the first 5, I guess I don't need the back. I can move that. So the first 5 have all the information. I'm really curious if it picks up that Kiowa Island thing. So I'm going to hit generate listing using AI. It's going to use one of my smart credits. It's going to use those 5 photos. It's men's department, and I hit generate. And it's doing its thing. It's doing its thing. What platform other than eBay would you recommend for clothing? Poshmark for sure, brother. Poshmark. Sorry, I missed that, Big Bird. Appreciate having you here. Always do, Big Bird. Big Bird Justin in the house. Hi, Donna. I have a white background I take photos on and skip the edit to save time. Nice. I like it. All right. So here we go. It said D-Dratty, Ocean Course. So it picked up Ocean Course, which is really interesting. I suspected that this one would fool the AI. So it's calling this shirt D-Dratty instead of B-Dratty, which I suppose one could understand, because if you look at the B-Dratty logo, the B actually does look a lot like a D. But so we're going to have to do a couple of edits on this one. So B-Dratty, and this is Kiowa. I always spell this wrong. Then if you look at the Kiowa, it is it's all cursive, it's script, so it would be very difficult for the AI to read it, and it didn't. So obviously there's still some growth to do for the platform. And maybe that's the stuff that it will never be able to do. So B-Dratty, Kiowa Island, Ocean Course, polo shirt, golf casual, extra large. And I'm going to put in Pima, see if I get enough for stretch. Nope. I'll put in Pima. There we go. So this is what it added in. And I got to change this to B-Dratty, not D-Dratty. Elevate your golf game with this stylish shirt. I like it. Let's see what it did with the measurements. It didn't pull the measurements. Did it? It didn't. Let's see if it... So it didn't pull the measurements. I thought it was supposed to be able to pull measurements off of a sheet of paper like that. So maybe I gotta change what I'm doing there. So I'm gonna have to just add the measurements in myself, which is fine. I really wish I had dual screen right now so I could read comments while I'm doing this, but we're doing the best with what we got. Need to get rid of some characters here. It did get the condition, so it knows it's used. That's pretty cool. Put in all this stuff: golf style, casual wear, striped, golf core. I've never used that word before, but I get it. We're going to price this at $29.99. Store category. I don't really use store categories. Shipping policy will be $6.95. I need to set these defaults. This takes too much time. I think if I play with the defaults, I can get all this stuff done. On my templates on eBay, I have all this stuff already entered, so I don't have to enter it. So I think I'll just have to mess around with the settings in Nifty to do it. Like the return policy should already be selected. This should already be selected. Why do I have to do pricing again? What's going on? I swear I already did price. Oh, I didn't do price at the top, that's why. Now it should copy it down. Yep. All right. Good to go. So obviously, there's some things that I need to do to get a little bit more dialed. I mean, those are the first two shirts I did. I didn't watch any tutorials. If there is a tutorial, I don't know it even exists. But so those items are listed. You can see just like that: Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari. So the AI did pretty good on that Royal Robin shirt. It basically detected everything perfectly. I just added a couple of keywords to the item title because I had extra characters, and I had to add the measurements in because I forgot to do that. So that was perfect. But I really challenged it with this right here, with that ocean course. It did pick up ocean course, but you can see it didn't pick up Kiowa, which, you know, that's like that's probably not a normal font. Like that's like a custom font that they had like when they made their logo, right? Like that's not an existing font. So it didn't pick that up. No super surprise there, but it did pick up ocean course. I'm curious how it'll do with other golf club logos, and I wonder if it'll get better over time. It obviously got the brand wrong on that too. It picked up D-Dratty instead of B-Dratty. You would have hoped that it would have realized that D-Dratty isn't exactly a brand. You would have thought that the AI would have been able to pick up on that and realize, oh, that's B-Dratty, which actually is a brand, and there is listings on eBay and Poshmark. So you would have hoped that it picked that up, but maybe that's some feedback that I'll be able to deliver directly to Nifty and just kind of see what they have to say. I usually get pretty quick responses from Nifty. And obviously, like any tool, right, they get better over time. They take feedback and they make it better. And I think, AI just sort of learns on its own. So maybe I just gave it feedback by changing it from D-Dratty to B-Dratty. Maybe that's the automated learning or whatever you call it. Like maybe that's like, okay, cool. Now next time maybe it's learning that. So I don't know. But overall, I would say my impressions of the tool are, I'm excited about the possibilities of it, especially if I get back to like my normal layer, my normal office, and can figure out that measurement thing. I think that's where the magic comes in. If I can have like a really efficient way of having the measurements added in and have some of those defaults like already filled in about like the shipping policy and the returns policy and all that stuff, if I can get those like defaults set up, I think I can really crank. And I think the potential exists that I could list a lot faster using that tool. I just got to figure out the measurement thing and figure out the defaults. And I think that we're really onto something. My guess is that there will always be some limitations to the tool where AI won't pick up certain things like Kiowa or Ocean Course with that big cursive script. I just don't know that it will ever get there, but who knows? It's learning every day, right? That's AI. Carson's in the house. Is this what you use to post on all three platforms at the same time? Yes, it's called Nifty. I have a link in my profile if you want to check it out. It's what I use for my cross listing, and it's what I use for all my automation tools. I've been using it for over a year now. What we tested today was their AI, specifically their AI listing tool. So all I had to do was drop photos into their listing tool, and the AI wrote like that made the item title, wrote the description, and filled in all the item specifics and stuff. It was pretty cool. It worked pretty good. I think I got some work to do to figure out how best to use the tool, but it's called Nifty. The link is in the profile. If you want to check it out, I'll drop the link again here in the chat for YouTube and Facebook, just in case people are just popping in. They didn't see the free trial link above. There's the free trial link there for you right now in the chat. It's also in the description of this video. Donna, can you explain how you uploaded the pics so fast? I use 2 screens and have to drag over. That's what I did. I just dragged the 6 photos in that last one. I just dragged them onto the thing. I don't know if I have a special trick there. Donna says, I love Nifty. It's like having a personal assistant, 100%. I've been using Nifty for over a year now. I switched to it April of 2024. Big fan. Have you saved your awesome Google Doc for selling supplies and tools when you update? Does it automatically update the doc I have saved? I don't use Google Docs for anything else. No, if I update it, unfortunately, it has to be a PDF for all those links to work. So if I update it, you'll have to download the new version of it. Unfortunately, that's the way it works. If I leave it as a Google Doc, which would be a live doc, it's not going to work on mobile. Like all the links won't work. It'll work on computer, but if somebody pulls it up on their mobile, which is what most people are watching videos on the internet from, they won't be able to actually click on the links. They won't work, which is a bummer. So I save it as a PDF, and then the links work. So anytime I make an update to it, it'll create a new file. I have a white background. I take photos on. Oh, I already read that one. Thank you, Heavenly. I appreciate that. Heavenly, how do you solve the measurement thing? I'm curious about that, because I thought the little thing I did with like the photo of like the measurements, I thought that would, I was under the impression that Nifty the AI tool would pick that up and then put those measurements like right into the listing instead of me having to like copy and paste it in. But if you're still here, Heavenly, I'm curious how you handle the measurements. Yes, Charlene, it is updated, yes, with a date. On the very bottom, I put a date. Good question. All right, y'all. Enjoyed hanging out with you for a little bit. Thanks to Heavenly and for Brian for sort of like walking me through. That was my very first time. I haven't watched videos on it. I hadn't tried it. I just went and did it without all my own tools, on the road, not in my office, without the dual screen, without my hanger, without my workbench with the measuring tape. Without my photo lights. That's what I miss the most. And this is why I don't list items when I'm on the road, because I like to have my photo lights with me. I just think it makes such a big freaking difference. And all I gotta do is just list 2 items without my photo lights to remind me of how important that is. As you're growing your business, to make real, your cover photo is so important. You get people to, if they don't click on your cover photo, right, they never get to your listing, and they never get any more information about you. You don't get a chance to sell to them if they don't click on your cover photo, right? And that comes down to keywords too. If you don't have the right keywords, so you don't show up in their search, then they're never going to find your cover photo. And then if your cover photo isn't as good as other people's cover photos, right? It's not as like, is your cover photo pretty good? It's like, well, no. Is it better than the people that are above and below that photo? And that's what it really comes down to. So to me, the best investment you can make early on before you get into Nifty and any of that stuff, that's the fancy stuff. That's the stuff once you get a little bit further on down the line. But to me, like early on, if you can get yourself $100 to get those box lights that I have linked in this document here, I'm just going to link the document down below. Actually, I'll just link the direct lights. Why not? Copy. Here's the exact lights that I use and I've been using for 4 years. It's like they're usually like $100 on Amazon, depending on the sale. Let me just see what they're priced at right now. Sometimes they're on a good sale. They're $90 right now, $90.99. They're on sale for, and these are the same exact. Looks like I got an error message. I don't know if I just missed. Sorry, I missed the last comment that came in. I had an error message on my Restream software. I forget who it was, but there was just like maybe 2 messages that came in, and my messages just all went blank. I'm sorry. It made me reload them. It said there was an error. I apologize. But those photo lights are currently $90.99. They're usually like 100 or 110 bucks. Every now and again, you'll get them on sale for like 89 or 91. And right now they're on sale for 91. So that's pretty good. I'll put a link to all of our recommended reseller tools and supplies. I'm going to drop that. It's a big, long document. This is what Charlene was talking about a moment ago with all the stuff that we use for our business, even like the photo, even the stuff that I use for like content creation, like this microphone and stuff too. All the office stuff, all the storage stuff out in the garage, everything we use is linked in that document. If it's not in there, let me know. If it's something that you're looking for, I might have a suggestion for you anyway. Y'all, wishing you a great Saturday. Happy Father's Day to the dads out there. And we'll see you again on Monday. I'll go live. We'll ship out all the weekend orders. Hope you have a great weekend of sales. And again, if you're just jumping in now, this will go. You watch the replay on YouTube and Facebook. We just did a trial. We did a test of Nifty's AI listing tool with 2 different items, and kind of you can watch me kick and scream my way through it. I had fun. I hope you did too. Wish